update as to what's important to residents here. That's why we call it Doorstop necessary. Because in recent days we are concerned about the narrative that seems to be coming out from Yishun GRC. A few weeks or 3 days back, there was this incident of activists disrupting Minister Shanmugam's NPS. Our views on the disruption on NPS is already clearly articulated in my own Facebook. And then a few days ago, we heard about Kelvin Cheng's post and how it has been interpreted or misinterpreted. And then we hear another media doorstop by Mr. Shanmugam saying that he had forgiven the activists who had come to his NPS. So all these events, when we look at it as a totality, it has got, they will stir emotions, and these emotions may be stirred along racial and religious lines. And these are the things that we are most concerned about. Of course, race and religion remains a fault line in Singapore and will continue to remain a fault line for a very long time. But if we really look at the issues, the real issue here is not about what the elites post online, but about how much we have in our post-bank accounts. I think the real fault line is between the high says, the low says, and whatever else says and is in between. The real fault line of the big gap is the socio-economic status. I think it's important in our walkabout that we hear that people are thinking why they have to spend 1.5 to 2 hours to travel to work, and then another 1.5 or 2 hours to travel back home. It takes away quality time for them from their families. We hear about families who are thinking if they can postpone the payment of their tuition fees for their students, for their children. We hear about people deciding on the chaipa meal or the different type of chaipa meals that they have. The one meat and 2 veg chaipa meals. What kind of dishes should I choose so that they will remain at $3 or $3.50? So these are the kind of issues which affect the pockets of the people. Issues which tells you how much money you have in your pocket or how much money you don't have in your pocket that are important to the people. I think we must not deviate from this issue, which will be the most important issue in this coming general election. And I think we need to remind ourselves that these are the things that we want to talk about. These are the things that are important to the residents of Yishun. And these are the things which every party that is contesting here should tell the residents where our commitment is, what our solutions will be. When we talk to the residents here, especially this is the Yishun Link Board, there has been some feedback about transportation goals, especially in the newer BTO flats area. There has been feedback about how lapses and feedback how there are lapses, and when feedback is given, it's not taken in fully well. There are feedback given saying that we all know that the MP for this area, Derek, has been recently promoted to be a good Chief Operating Officer for DBS. And the concern some residents have is how much time will he have to be the MP of the area. So these are all real questions and concerns of the residents here. And while these concerns are being held or being told to us by residents here, there are also talks about and questions about why certain MPs seem to be moving out. Like for example, there seems to be a talk that Professor Faisal will be moving out from where he is from his ward to another constituency altogether. Mr. Faisal is someone that the residents here have say that they feel an affinity to him. They feel that of the MPs here, they can relate well to him. So they wonder why it is relating well to residents here. Why is he being moved out from this constituency to another constituency? I mean, if it that were so, right? And they would understand. The feedback that we have gotten is they would understand if the MP was retiring or was stopping being involved in politics, but that's not the case. He is moving to another constituency, and they wonder why. And while this MP Faisal seems to be being parachuted to another constituency, we have an NMP being parachuted into this constituency, or at least that's what a number of residents seem to be hearing, and that's what we saw a few days ago as well. There are concerns about this MP who seems to be parachuted into this constituency. And of course, Mr. Shanmugam swore that there is absolutely nothing wrong in an NMP choosing to stand on a party platform and choosing to get elected on a party platform. We agree that there is nothing legally wrong with an NMP coming on board a political party to contest an election as a member of a political party. I am sure that it is constitutionally right as well. There is a difference, but there is a difference between what's legally right, what's constitutionally right, and what's ethically right, what is principled, and what is fair. Just like there is absolutely nothing wrong with a minister renting black and white bungalows from Rydal Road. There is absolutely nothing wrong there. But is it fair? It's not a question of if people are jealous that the minister is able to move into a Rydal bungalow. But the question to ask is, while the minister can live in a bungalow which is the size of 4-5 football fields, why are our HDB flats shrinking in size? It's a legitimate question to ask, and they are shrinking in size while the cost of the flats are increasing. And what's worse is at the end of the 99-year lease, the cost of the flat, the price of the flat will go to zero. So this is a question of fairness. It is not a question of being envious. It's absolutely not. It's a question of fairness. So these are important questions which I think the incumbents here have got to answer. And especially if the NMP is being fielded here, we have got to ask the question, at what point this NMP stopped being non-partisan? At what point did it happen? At what point did he feel that he was veering towards the TAP? Was he asked to ask some inconvenient questions in Parliament by the ministers or by those that are affiliated with the incumbents? Did he comply with these wishes? So these are all important questions which the NMP, if he is fielded here, he has got to answer. The anchor minister who is anchoring the constituency, these are important questions which the anchor minister has got to answer, because these are not questions centered on being envious or saying that who should contest here or who should not contest here. It is a question of trust, because all the people, they believe that the NMP is elected on a platform of being non-partisan. He is elected on a platform of being neutral. He is elected on a platform of being fair? So it is a very important question that the NMP, and he is fielded here, he has got to answer. It is a very important question the Anchor Minister here has got to answer if the NMP is fielded here. I know that these are early days and it is not yet, probably not yet been decided who will be fielded here, but still, when the time comes, it is important for these questions to be addressed. Because if we remember the Forward Singapore exercise, one of the most important things that is valuable or important to Singaporeans is the value of fairness. So if we trample on fairness on this issue of fielding an NMP here in a constituency so soon after he resigned from being an NMP, then it tramples on the wishes of the Singaporeans who gave their feedback in the Forward Singapore exercise. I think it tramples on the social contract that our Prime Minister Lawrence Wong says is very important to him. Fairness is a very important question, and I think we should not trample on this. I think in this election there are only three things which are important to the people in Yishun, to the people in Singapore. And the three things are how much money you have or do not have in your pocket. That is the first thing that is very, very important question for Singaporeans. The second question is, do I have fair representation or do I have representation? Is my MP caring for me? That is a very important question that I think every voter in Yishun will have to ask themselves, every Singaporean, every citizen would have to ask themselves. And I think the third question is, do I have dignity and fairness? That is a very important question. Every Yishun voter and every Singaporean voter will have to think about. So these are the three issues which are most important to Singaporeans, especially to Yishun residents in this coming election. And I think we should not deviate from them and talk about issues and talk about problems which will continue to be here with us for many, many years, decades to come. Those are not the real issues. I think as a responsible party, Red Dot United is committed to finding solutions for these three problems that we have identified. It is important to talk about these three problems. And that's what I wanted to say. Thank you so much.
I spoke quite extensively about, possible candidates that PAP is holding.